Om Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We are studying here Badarayana Vyasa Pranit Shariraka Mimamsa Shastra, which is popularly known as Brahma-Sutras. And the first 4 sutras only were studying with Shankaracharya's commentary. And we were studying the commentary on the first sutra. The first sutra is Atha Ataha Brahma Jigyasa. And we are still discussing about the word Atha. Before that, in the Adhyasa Bhashya, Shankara has made us aware that our life, our natural behavior in our life is based upon contradictions. By mixing reality with unreality, coupling, which is based upon wrong knowledge. Because consciousness is not matter. Consciousness cannot have parts. Consciousness is not physically dimensions. On the other hand, matter has no consciousness. Matter is material, it has parts. So, consciousness and matter cannot have any relation at all. Least of all, identity. And characteristics of consciousness, which is always denoted by the word I, can never become the characteristics of matter, which is denoted by the word you. Why it is called you who have seen, instead of calling idam, this or that? Because it is this or that does not appear to be so contradictory. So the word you has been used. And so there is such a vast gap between these two. They are opposite to each other, like light and darkness. Consciousness and matter are like light and darkness. And yet, because we are not able to discriminate between those two, this a wrong, contradictory life we are proceeding. You have seen with the help of Vivekananda and the 3 chapters of Maya in Jnana Yoga, how this contradiction has enveloped our life, entire life, in any field of life, especially in the matter of intellect. We think that by intellect we can find out everything. And yet, intellect or reason can work only on the data brought by the senses. And everything which is dearer to us is beyond this sense perception. And yet, we'll never believe it. We'll go on struggling, which will never end. So, this is our life. And this, due to its wrong knowledge, and we behave almost like animals here. So we proceed where we see favorable conditions, and we run away from where we see somebody is against us. So it is like the Pashus. And Pashus do not work with discrimination. So we are also not working with discrimination. And such a life is called avidya, or accumulation of wrong ideas in our life. And the only solution for this is knowledge, right knowledge, cultivation of right knowledge. And this wrong knowledge is at the root of all the problems of life, whether it is physical problems, mental problems, financial problems, social problems. Mind you, the root of all the problems is this wrong knowledge of coupling matter with consciousness. So we must get rid of this. And he has induced that keen desire in us that we must come out of it. Unnecessarily we are suffering from because of our wrong knowledge. And the way out is shown by all the Upanishads. That is what Shankar said. We will show you when we discuss this. And with this, we entered the first sutra. And first sutra, Atha Ato Brahma Jigyasa. Now, therefore, the desire to know Brahman, to get Brahman, to realize Brahman, unstoppable desire must be born in us. And how to fulfill it will be shown by the Upanishads. So, Atha means now. Now means not, Atha does not mean here Mangalakarak, auspicious, because as soon as we uttered the word Atha, Mangal has happened. So we should not lose the other meaning of the word Atha. And Atha is taken to be after something. But there is nothing after which this Brahma Jigyasa can come. But Atha means in continuation of something. That Shankara has proved very nicely that this Atha can only have the meaning of in continuation of something. Then another meaning possible was that something has already happened. Shankar said that meaning does not become different from in continuation with. So now the question is, what it is continuance of? What should be there already in our life? And in brief, we saw that as when the awakening comes, then we try, struggle. Whatever we think will be helpful, we put ourselves on that path. Unless a man has put on that himself on that path, these Upanishads will not give any knowledge to us. Because we find Upanishads are used to get PhDs. Upanishads are used for social life in Vedas. Upanishads are used for management or economics. So the very purpose becomes lost because we do not have that direct keen desire. So when we have desire, we shall start doing something. Now what is that something is being explained. And we read that sentence, or let us read it today now. Tasmat kimapi vaktavyam yad anantaram brahma jigyasa upadishyati iti. So you must tell us something in continuation of which this desire to know Brahman has been taught. The desire to know Brahman has been taught in continuation of something. What is that? Uchyate. Nitya anitya vastu vivekaha iha amutra artha bhoga viravaga shama dama adi sadhana sampat mumukshutvam cha. And this Shankara has culled out from all the Upanishads. Seeking all the Upanishads, he has culled out this, the prerequisites as they are called, or in continuation of what we have that keen desire. So, see the terms now. Nitya anitya vastu viveka. Vastu means something here. Now, when we are faced with anything in life, first we should know that whether it is permanent or temporary. That is the first requirement for spiritual life. We run after everything temporary in this world. Our body is temporary, mind is temporary. Outside, every enjoyment is temporary. And yet we run after them only. And so long as we run after them, we cannot have the receptivity to receive knowledge from the Upanishads. The well-known example which Swami Vivekananda has quoted in his Bhakti Yoga is that of Prahlada. Prahlada, we can have that story if you like, that Prahlada was born a Jnani, a Bhakta. And so his father, a demon, was very angry. And he was trying to kill Prahlada. At that point, God appeared from the pillar and killed that demon father. And then he is asking Prahlada, ask for what boon should I give you? Prahlada said, I don't want anything. No, you must tell me what do you desire. And Prahlada expressed that desire, which according to Swami Vivekananda is the best definition of bhakti. We can see that it is the best definition of discrimination. He says that, Prahlada says, we have a permanent faculty of loving somebody. We cannot remain without loving something or somebody. That is human nature. However dry intellectual we may be, however dynamic worker we may be, we cannot remain in life without loving something or somebody. Now that something or somebody may be our own body, our own ideas. And these are temporary. So people without discrimination, Prahlada says, the shloka is like this. Ya priti avivekanam visheshu anapayini tvam anusmarata same hridayan mapa sarpatu. That love which a man feels, that love anapayini, it does not go away. Visheshu, about objects, about that which Shankara has called you. And these objects are temporary. We get shattered. And then we try to shift. If this man dies, we try to shift our attention to some other man. If this way of earning money is spoiled, we try some other way. So Preeti does not go. The objects go on changing. And that is suffering. So Prahlada says that constant love should be for a constant object. So this can happen only when we know what is the constant object. And that constant object, as we shall see, is the reality, one without a second. That constant object we shall see is only that consciousness and not matter. Matter is ever changing. Consciousness is beyond change. My consciousness, your consciousness goes on changing. That is consciousness wrongly associated with matter. That is the root of all problems. But the abstracted consciousness is one without a second, unchanging, absolutely unchanging. So in our life, we must have the capacity, we must have the tendency. Every time something object is presented before us, we must examine whether it is permanent or temporary. Nitya anitya vastu viveka. Now, intellectually or rationally or by thinking, suppose we have found out that this is temporary. And even then, if we continue our attachment to that, what is the use of that finding out? So behind this discrimination, we should have to cultivate by our own effort. Before we come to Upanishads, what should be already in our mind. That is anantari. And so, the next point is that dispassion. This word is very important. Dispassion, viraga. Raga means attachment. Viraga is not only absence of attachment. Viraga is opposite to attachment. The example is given that suppose we are hungry and the best food is presented before us. But when we are about to eat, somebody says that there is poison in that food. Will there be desire to eat it? Will there be no desire to run away from that point? Or at that point, suppose some hair enters some fly goes into our mouth. Then that tendency will be nauseating, tendency will be vomiting, and we shall never go to food at that time. So, in this way, dispassion should come. And so, dispassion, opposite to passion. About what? Iha amutra artha bhoga viraga. Artha are the objects here. Artha are the objects here. Artha is something achievable, that is called artha. Bhoga and enjoyment. There is a tendency of enjoying something. Now we live, there are objects of the senses. We see, touch, taste, feel, going on. But when the tendency to enjoy that thing comes, then opposite tendency should be there. And some people exert a lot of self-control. But what we desire, that it is very common in India, please, elsewhere also, that if we restrain ourselves now, we'll go to heaven and enjoy there. That is the most common thought in India, at least. Why so many we see these vratas and fastings and taking vows and hundreds of things are done. I would equate this to deferred payment. That means we do not spend the cash, we put it as a fixed deposit. So in time we shall get that interest. Like that, the tendency of many people will be to control oneself so that we'll enjoy afterwards. Now this tendency, even in this world, I will give you an example. Once I went to, in Chandigarh, girls higher secondary school, the NSS group, and the girls asked me a question. They said our parents are continuously seeing the TV and they do not allow us to see the TV. They tell us, now you should study. Later on you can enjoy. That means deferred payment. Now if you put your mind in study, you will get good marks, you will earn more money, and then you can enjoy. What a wrong idea. What should be the correct idea? Now you study, your mind will expand. Now you study, your intellect becomes sharp. Now you study, you will know what is the world. Now you study, you will know what are you yourself. Now you study, you will know what is the goal of life. But now you study and later on you enjoy. This is the worst idea being inculcated in all young people, in India especially. Everywhere it is common, but in India, this I see as nothing but case of deferred enjoyment. And that is represented here in the olden days at least, or even in India now, that if we control ourselves now, we'll enjoy in heaven. Then we are on the wrong path. That is the difference between so-called religion, I wouldn't say religion, so-called religion and real religion. People make a distinction between religion and spirituality these days. I would say so-called religion and real religion. You ask most of them, all the religious people of the world, so-called, whether Christians or Mohammedans or Hindus, they say that if, now the worst example is terrorism. If we kill an infidel now, 6 apsaras would be waiting for us in heaven. The ultimate idea is to go to heaven and enjoy. And in India also, if you do good work, you will go to heaven and enjoy. This tendency will not allow any spiritual growth. This is not religion. This is not real religion. And so, iha amutra, that is the word amutra. Amutra means afterwards. Afterwards, normally taken as after death, in the heaven. But just now I have shown you examples that deferred enjoyment is what everybody is preaching their children. We are killing our children by this poisonous idea of deferred enjoyment. Then I told those girls, बाद में aish कर लेना. Aish is the word. I said, for aish, you do not require any education. The best example of aish is a pig. He does not require any education. So, aish cannot be the goal of life, whether here, after 10 years, or after death in the next life. Here, amutra artha. That is called artha. Artha is something which we earn. Why we earn? Bhog. We enjoy. We earn something and enjoy that. About this tendency, there should be dispassion. We must understand the first sutra very critically. It is the first sutra. In Atha, there is a continuity of something which we are following, and then we will come to the real knowledge in the Upanishads. So that which you are already following contains Vairagya. When Swamiji was preaching in England and in America, Swamiji himself has said, people said that he is coming from some country which is dead 5,000 years back and is preaching renunciation to us. So this is the second point of things in continuation of which we can have the real desire for real knowledge. And so the wording is such, iha amutra artha bhoga viraga. Artha means something which we earn, bhoga means enjoyment, here or in Sarga, in this life or the next, immediately or in deferred manner, we should have a dispassion about all this. Felt it? Very important point. Anybody should understand that. And then what does we do? What do we do then? We start controlling our mind. Because our mind plays these vagaries. Mind jumps and wants to go here, there, and enjoy and fall into ditches. And so we have to control our mind. As soon as we try to think of, say, in our language, going to God or spiritually improving, immediately we start controlling our mind. Now this control is missing from the modern idea of education. So, no, some friends told me, in Chandigarh, we were friendly with Baha'i Sampradaya. And I asked them, what are you doing? He said, in America, we are running a school for girls. I said, that's a noble idea. But why not school for boys? They said, impossible. The boys break all the furniture immediately. No, that is education. That is the state of affairs. So, self-control is absolutely necessary. Attempt at self-control is absolutely necessary. This is not a question. This in continuation with is an important lesson. Not that first you become perfect in that and then come to listening. That is a very wrong idea. The difference between after and in continuation is that we have put our boat in that direction. That is enough. That is enough to understand and follow Vedanta. That we have changed the direction of life, direction of our struggle. And so, Shama, attempt, I should translate it as attempt for mental control that comes as soon as we feel. And then Dhamma, physical control, control of the indriyas, control of the body and mind. Now we find some people unnecessarily moving their legs and hands, and how they will grow spiritually. So, control of the mind, and that is given first, and then control of the body and the organs, indriyas, and then uparati. Uparati means that enough of this, I do not want to go outside at all. The tendency of the mind to not go outside at all. Shama and Dhamma make our mind and indriyas stop from going outside. They should not be allowed to go again. So Shama Dhamma is followed by Uparati. Uparati has another meaning also. Uparati means stopping or giving up this life of the world and taking up sannyas. That also is called Uparati. But Uparati means withdrawal. Withdrawal. This is control and then it is withdrawal. Our mind withdraws itself from going outside. Shama Dhamma Uparati Titiksha. Titiksha, this world is a world of dual throng. If somebody praises you, Titiksha is not only bearing heat and cold. If somebody praises you, somebody will blame you. And it is not a fact. Some people wrongly understand that we will be praised for our qualities and blamed for our vices. Not at all. The same point, I will give a small example. If a sadhu does not talk with people at all or avoids ladies, they will say, see, he is the Vairagyavan sadhu. And others will take him to task. He is an unsocial man. Somebody mixes well with the devotees. People will say, see, how nice, loving sadhu he is. Others will say, oh, he is a bhogi. He is no sadhu. Where will you go? This world is like that by nature. Praise and blame, honor and disrespect. This is continuously the very nature of the world. And if we get affected by this, we are nowhere. No, half of this will not do. Some people are not moved by blame. They will put it, oh, they do not understand me, so they are blaming. But they can be won over by a little praise. If you praise them a little, then you can get anything out of them. So, I will tell you, there is a proverb within us that the softest part of a sannyasi's body is his feet. That means if you touch his feet, he will be happy. No. that should not affect our mind at all. Heat and cold, pleasure and pain will always be there. Praise and blame will always be there. Honor and dishonor will always be there. Now to remain unaffected by that, this attempt, this is the direction. Not that we have to become perfect in that. So this is what the mind attempts. Mind wants to go to that constant thing we have seen. And in order to go to constant thing, it does not want to be affected by the dual. In the second chapter of the Gita, that is the only lesson that while doing your duty or work or whatever, should remain unaffected by this dual. So, that is titiksha. Samadhan. Samadhan appears to mean contentment, but it is not content. Samyak adhan, right keeping. And right keeping, if you keep the mind in the changing objects, then it will always be tossed up. But if you try to keep the mind in God, in any form of God, Saguna Brahma Vishaya Manasa Vyapara Rupani, that means in some way you think of God, worship Him, do whatever about God, about the reality, even serving people, because God is in all. So this attempt at attaching the mind to God in any form whatsoever is called samadha. And shraddha. What is shraddha? I do not experience any subtler truth today. I do not see before me God today. I do not see what is my own nature, what is my soul. I do not see any heaven or anything. But the sages do see. The sages directly perceive these things. And they are telling me, if you go in this way, you will also perceive. So I should do that. This much is Shraddha. Shraddha is not faith in something. Then that becomes Andha Shraddha and this and that. I have seen people, when their guru comes to their house, they will remove the socks, wash his feet in water and drink it. They say we have Shraddha. This is no Shraddha. Shraddha means I do not experience, they experience, they are giving me the method, why should I not follow? This much is Shraddha. And this is the direction in which I am putting my mind. So, Shama, Dhamma, Uparati, Samadhana and Shraddha, this is a group of 6. It is called wealth. Because by ordinary wealth we purchase vegetables or an air-conditioned theater. But this is the wealth by which we are going to purchase our freedom. We are going to purchase, if we say, God Himself. So it is called wealth. 6 types of wealth. And we are trying to cultivate that. We may not have become perfect, but perfection in any of these comes only when we realize our real nature. Till then it is always an attempt, but it shows the direction of life in which we are going. And then one more is mumuksha. Mumukshatvam cha. That keenness, desire, keenness to be free. We must feel bondage. We must feel that we are bound by our imperfections. We are bound by our desires. We are bound by our wants. And I want to come out of it. This freedom, some young people say we want freedom. That is freedom given to their senses, not themselves. So freedom of the senses is not the thing. Freedom from the senses, that is the real freedom. And this is the direction Shankara is telling. He has culled it from various Upanishads and is telling that this is the direction in which we should put our mind to benefit from the teachings of Vedanta. Nitya Anitya Vastu Eka, Ye Amutra Artha Bhoga Viraga, Shamadama Adi Sadhanasam. He calls it sadhana here, the means. Means which is wealth. Wealth which is means of progressing spiritually. Mumukshutvam cha, and that keenness to get free. Teshu isatsu prakapi dharma jigyasaya urdvam cha shakyate brahma jigyasitum gyatum cha na vipareye. If these are present, teshu isatsu, we have not studied the karma kanda of the Vedas. Not required. We will not study the karma kanda of the Vedas. Dharma jigyasaya prak. We have not entered that field of what will give us heaven. Any details of that we have not studied. Urdhvam, or we might have studied. So that is not related to this. So before studying or after studying, Shakyate Brahma Jigyasiti. The keenness to realize Brahman is very possible. If you are following these directions, then the keenness to realize Brahman is very possible. And not only desire to know, Jnatum cha. So important thing. This sadhana, if it proceeds, it will give us Brahman itself. The desire to go realize Brahman will come, and this will grow into the realization itself if these things are present. Teshu is satsu. Whether we have done Vedic karmas or not, whether we have done this or that or not, or even after doing that, if this continuation of these four or other 9 things is there, then the reality called Brahman can be inquired into, can be the desire for realizing it will come, and not only that, we'll know it also. Jnatum cha. Wonderful. So, this, what we usually call adhikar. Here the word adhikar is denied because it is not after. It is in continuation with. But this continuation is such a strong thing that this set will lead us to realization. But if it is the direction is given, we'll become fit to get knowledge from the Upanishads and realize Brahman. So it works in these 2 ways. Tasmat, therefore, Atha Shabdena Yatha Ukta Sadhana Sampatti Anantaryam Upadishyate. So when the word Atha is used, now, this is the point, psychological point of time that is called now. Now means when we already put ourselves to this direction, and then we approach gurus and shastras to get, otherwise you see, even to get a proper guru is not possible. Even to go to the proper scriptures is not possible. And we run after and we go to wrong places. But if we have put ourselves in this direction, we'll get the right teacher, we'll get the right scriptures, and we'll get benefit from it, and we shall proceed into that way. Now, word by word is explaining because it is sutra. The second word is ataha, therefore. Ataha shabdo hetu artha. Artha here means meaning. Atha Shabda is for Hetu. Hetu means therefore. Now, what is that? Therefore, we are get the keenness to know Brahman. Yasmad Veda eva Agnotra adinam Shreya sadhananam anitya palatam darshayati. because karma kanda is there. But the Vedas which teach karma kanda, they themselves tell that this is not permanent. This is temporary. Tad yatha iya karmachita loka khiyate evam eva amutra punyachita loka khiyate. Now here in this world, if we do something, we'll get the finite result. Similarly, if we do something and go to heaven, there also the finite result will be there. Result will come to an end. As here, so in heaven also. Vedas have given us the means of going to heaven, but they themselves have told that as here, so in heaven also, your result will be temporary. Therefore, and not only that, tatha Brahma Vijnanat api param purushartham darshayati. Api also. And in Sanskrit syntax, this should be taken to mean in the beginning of the sentence. Otherwise, confusion will come. So Vedas themselves tell that the effect of karma is very temporary, and also they themselves tell that Brahma Jigyasat Param Purushartham Darshayati. Through this keenness to desire Brahman, you will get the absolute fulfillment of life. Purusha Artha, something to be achieved by the man. Purusha is not used in opposition to Stri. Purusha does not mean a male person. Purusha means a man, human being, making self-effort. That is Purusha. Purusha is any human being. And Artha means what he has to achieve in life. Now, suppose he becomes a doctor, an engineer, a lawyer. Does it fulfill his life? So, Dharma, Artha, Kama are talked of as Purushartha. They are very relative terms. Param Purushartha. So, the real and ultimate aim of life, the real and ultimate what we should gain in life, that we get by this experiential knowledge of Brahman, Brahma Vijnana. The experiential knowledge of Brahman gives us a permanent fulfillment of life. Brahmavid Vyapnoti Apnoti Param Ityadi. In the Upanishad, the one who knows Brahman gets supreme. Gets supreme. That means he does not require anything afterwards. So, in these two things, the Vedas, though they talk of heaven, tell that it is temporary, and Vedas themselves also tell us that if we realize, if we experientially know Brahman, then that is the ultimate gain of life. Nothing else remains to be gained. Tasmat, therefore, Yatha Ukta Sadhana Sampatti Anantaram Brahma Jigyasa Kartavya. That is somebody had asked, and this is the word, it is Kartavya. So, that desire, that sentence was incomplete, it is completed by this Kartavya. That means the desire should be there. We should desire. Jigyasa Kartavya means we should desire to know Brahman. We should desire to realize Brahman. Therefore, if he connects the two, atha, therefore, Ukta Sadhana Sampatti Anantaram. Anantaram means without a gap, in continuation with. Anantaram, not after this. In continuation with that sadhana, the fourfold sadhana which has been told, then what should be there? The desire to Brahma must come. The desire to Brahma, desire to realize Brahma, the keen desire. We have seen that meaning. Shankara will explain that meaning. Jidnasa is that unobstructed desire till it gets the reality. that type of desire to know and realize Brahman should be there, should come in our life when in continuation of this sampatti, therefore. So when you have this sampatti, therefore, because the Vedas have told that though you may go to heaven, it is not permanent. Everything is included in this. But if you realize Brahman, then you will get the highest and nothing else remains to be. And God, Parama Purushartham, the ultimate achievement of a man will be there. Therefore, if you have that sampatti, we must get that desire. Okay? Now the next word, Brahma Jigyasa. Brahma Jigyasa is a compound word. So first Shankara will tell us what type of compound it is, and then the individual meanings of the word Brahma and Jigyasa. So Brahmana Jigyasa, Brahma Jigyasa. That means in Sanskrit there are cases. The word itself gets transformed. In English, you have to say it, at, to, from. In Sanskrit, these things are attached to the words themselves. So, there is a case called Shashti, sixth case, showing the connection, relation. Brahmana, in English, we can translate of Brahman. Of Brahman. Jigyasa, keenness to realize. Jigyasa, keenness to realize Brahman. Object of that desire is Brahman. Now, this very case can have several meanings. One is called Karmani Shashti, Sheshe Shashti. That means, before coming to the details, I will tell you, some people, not that we have a desire to know about Brahman. That is Sheshe Shashti. Sheshe Shashti means a general relation. We have desire to know about Brahman. Shankar says that will have no meaning in life. The other thing is desire to know Brahman. Brahman becomes the object of that desire. That is called karma. Karma is not work. Karma in grammar means object. And general relation means sheshe. This is the important point now. So first of all, we have to understand that Brahmana Jigyasa, Brahma Jigyasa. The samasa, the compound word is broken like this. Desire to know Brahman, or in the sixth case or the possessive case as they call it, Brahmana, Brahman, Jigyasa, desire to know. Now what is Brahman? We should know. Brahmacha Vakshamanam, Vakshamana Lakshanam Janmadi Asayata iti. He says, wait a little. About Brahman we shall tell you in the second sutra. Atayava, because the Brahman word has different meaning. So he says, the meaning he will dig out. But now he says, Brahman is that which characteristics are told. Janmadi asya yata iti, that is given. Second sutra is given here. Because the Brahman word should not mean something else. So, that from which the world is born, in which the world lives, to which the world returns, that is Brahman. Brahman is that from which the world has come, in which the world stays, and to which it returns in the pralaya. Atayeva na Brahma Shabdasya Jati Adi Arthantaram Ashankitavyam. Brahma Shabda is used for the Brahmin caste. That should not be used. Brahman Shabda is used for meaning the Vedas, literally. That should not be used. Adi. Jati, Adi, Arthantar, different meaning of the word Brahman, about the caste or other things should not be doubted at all. Brahman means the cause of the world. Brahman means the cause of the creation, destruction, preservation of this world. That is the meaning of Brahman. We should not take Brahman, therefore we should not take Brahman to mean the Brahmin caste or the book Vedas or any such thing. Then Brahmana iti karmani shashti na sheshe. This is the sixth case according to Sanskrit grammar. So it is called shashti. Karmani shashti. But the meaning is that object. Object generally goes in the second case. But each case has different connotations. So here, Brahmana shashti. Brahmana is sixth case. But he says that sixth case means iti karmani shashti, in the sense of an object, na sheshe. Sheshe shashti means in general. Jigyasa apekshatvat jigyasaya. Because the verb jigyasa, the desire, must have an object. Jigyasa apekshatvat. Desire always expects an object. Jigyasa antara anirdesha. And nowhere in Vedanta, some other thing to be known has been told. Nowhere in Vedanta, we get any other thing to be known. The only thing to be known is Brahman. The only thing to be known is the cause of the world. The only thing to be known is our own reality. The only thing to be known is God. Only thing to be known is the reality of the world. No other thing is told to be known. And so, it becomes the object of the desire to know. The desire to know requires an object, expects an object, and nothing else has been told to be known. So, it means a direct object of the desire to know. So, we want to, that is called karmani shashti, that I want to know Brahman. That is the meaning. Not that I want to know about Brahman. This is an important point. Shankar discusses it. Nanu, a doubt comes. You see, scholars and sadhakas, that difference is being made now. Roundabout and direct, that is being told now. Nanu, sheshe shashti parigraya. This is not discussion of grammar, please. This is a discussion of the tendency of man. Apparently, grammar. But the grammar denotes the direction of the mind of man. Sheshe shashti parigrayapi. Suppose we take it to mean the general relation. Brahmano jigyasa karmatvam na viruddhate. If we have desire to know everything about Brahman, does it not include knowledge of Brahman also? That is the doubt. You see, theoretically and practically, the difference you have to see. If we have desire to know everything about Brahman, will it not include the desire to know Brahman also? Sambandha samanyasya visheshanishtatva. General relation means consists of all the particular relations. All the particular relations are included in the general relation. So general relation means desire to know about Brahman. Then will it not include the desire to know Brahman? I want to know where Brahman lives, what is Brahman doing. So it includes the knowledge of Brahman also. That is the doubt. Evamapi, Shankar says, if you take this meaning, pratyaksham brahmana karmatvam usrujya. Why not pinpoint that I want to know Brahman? You are giving up that pinpointing. Samanya dvarena paroksham karmatvam kalpayata vyartha prayasasya. Your energy will be frittered away. If we want to know everything about Brahman, to include knowledge of Brahman also, you are frittering away your energies. It's not grammar, huh? This is the tendency of the mind. So, that will not do. No, Vyartha. A little discussion on this point. The sadhaka will no. It is not frittering away energy. Brahma ashrita ashesha vichara pratyajnanarthatvat iti chet. Brahma ashrita. That means basing upon Brahman. We want to analyze. Everything comes in the way. Ashesha vichara pratyajnana. Pratigya means a promise that this will lead us to discuss everything about Brahman. Why not take this meaning? Iti chet means, why not take this meaning? No. Pradhana parigrahe tad apekshitanam arthat kiptatva. You see the two tendencies. I want to know everything about Brahman, which will include knowing Brahman also. The other is, I want to know Brahman. For knowing Brahman is something else is required, that I will know automatically. That is the difference in tendency. The doubt comes that, shall I not know anything else about Brahman? The answer is that if we want to know Brahman, if something else is required, that Brahman you can realize in your heart or whatever. If something else is required, that is automatically included in the desire to know Brahman. So this is pinpointing, and the other is beating about the bush. If the mind is allowed to fritter away, in the first he has told, frittering away energies. He said not frittering away, it includes that. He said that including that, energy is getting frittered away. You are giving up the pinpointing. Now in pinpointing, we are not missing anything. Because if something is required about Brahman to be known, we shall know that. That is included. But the directions are two separate. I hope it has become clear now. Shashti or Dvitiya is not grammar. Sheshe Shashti means desire to know about Brahman. Karmani Shashti means the desire to know Brahman. And desire to know about Brahman includes desire to know Brahman is a very weak approach. The mind gets frittered away. Very little remains to know Brahman. While if we desire to know Brahman, then whatever is required, we shall automatically, we shall know that. It becomes included. Pradhana parigrahe, if we take the main object as Brahman, tat apekshitanam, what else here expected, artha kshiptatva. Automatically, they become included. Automatically, they become included if we pinpoint our mind on knowing Brahman. If we pinpoint our mind in realizing Brahman, whatever about Brahman is necessary, that we shall automatically become included. We shall know that also. But if we start by thinking of knowing everything about Brahman, then our frittering of energy takes place. It is not become pinpointed to know about Brahman. Therefore, this apparent discussion on grammar has this import. Brahmai Jnanena Aptum Ishtatamatvat Pradhanam. What is the main here? Brahma. Why? Because by knowledge we want to get Brahman. It is not about Brahman we know many things. But we want to get Brahman. Aptum Ichchati. We want to get Brahman. The knowledge of Brahman will make us get Brahman. Because Brahman is our real nature. Knowledge of Brahman will not be like an object. Knowledge of Brahman means knowledge of our own real nature. If we know it, we have realized it. If we know it, we have got it. So that is the difference. Therefore, Ishtatamatvat. That means that is what we desire most. Pradhanam. That is why it is the main. To know Brahman is the main, because once we know Brahman, we get it. It is not true about any other thing. I know this table, does not mean I got the table. If I know Brahman lives in heaven, I do not get Brahman. But if I know Brahman as my real nature, as the cause of my birth, sustenance and death, then I have got it. So, that is the Brahma Jnanena Aptum. By knowledge, I am getting Ishtatamatvad. That is my maximum desire, Pradhanam. So, it is the main object of knowledge. That thing, Arthakshiptatvad, we are overshot our time. We'll take it up, the continuation, in the next class. Om Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krito Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Veda Vivagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.